Hello friends, this is second lecture of third unit, that is steam and gas power plants. Okay, we have discussed about different systems that are used in uh, steam power plant. Okay, and in that particular steam power plant, the boiler, which is discussed in previous unit. Let's start. Okay, we have seen this system. Let's start with this working of thermal power plant. Okay, uh, here the steam is generated in the boiler of the thermal power plant using the heat of the fuel burned in the combustion chamber. The steam is passed through the steam turbine where it expands, and the part of its thermal energy is converted into mechanical energy. The turbine shaft is coupled with generator which convert mechanical energy into electrical energy. The steam coming out of the steam turbine is condensed in condenser, and the condenser is supplied back to the boiler with the help of feed pump with some makeup feed water, and cycle is repeated. Okay, this cycle we also have discussed in last lecture. So this few things are okay. This is the basic working of thermal power plant. Everyone may know that. Okay, here advantages and disadvantages of thermal power plant. Okay, let's see. Advantages: less setup, repair and maintenance cost is low. Okay, as these steam power plants are robust in design or in all other aspects, so they are less setup is required, repair and maintenance cost is also low. Then life of this power plant, this thermal power plant, is more than or about 25 to 30 years as compared to other power plant, or beyond that. If some modification and burnout part if replaced, then it can work for longer time also. Okay, then unskilled operator can operate the plant. Okay, most of the work is done by computer system, okay, now which are uh, used nowadays. So unskilled operator can also be uh, will also be able to operate the power plant, because there is no intervention of the human. Okay, now unskilled operator can operate the power plant. The construction cost of plant decreases with the increase in unit capacity and less compared to nuclear power plant. Okay, construction cost is much lesser because of when bigger, or I will say, as the power plant get bigger, the cost of its construction decreases per unit. Okay, it is not directly related to nature climatic condition like hydropower plant. Okay, that means like hydropower plant, we need to have every year a certain amount of rain. Okay, or excess, we can say excess amount of rain like this year. Then our hydropower plant will work continuously. Okay, but in case of drought, there will be complete shutdown of this hydroelectric power plant. But in this case, as the water requirement is quite less, the this power plant actually does not relate to or does not depend on the climatic condition. There are no transmission losses since they are located near load center. Okay, these power plants are generally located near the load center, like near to any cities, or where the electricity is required. You just have to carry the coal over there and no worry about transmission, because you can construct the power plant at the site where you need to supply that electricity. Okay, but let us compare this. In that way you can understand very well. But in case of hydropower plant, you just have to install that hydropower plant far away from that cities, because there must be a lot of catchment area of water, and then hills must be there, so that you can construct a dam, or a dam construction cost will be less. Okay, in that case, the site of that particular hydroelectric power plant is quite far away from that populated area or the electricity where you need it. So these are quite good in case of this transmission. Then suitable for varying load condition. Okay, depending on varying load. Okay, as day requirement is higher than night requirement of electricity, therefore this load variation can be accommodated in by this power plant. Okay, why? Because we know, or this steam production or electricity generation is directly depend on steam production, and steam production can be managed depending on the load. Okay, therefore this is suitable for varying load conditions. No harmful radioactive waste are produced in this case of nuclear power plant. Okay, now harmful waste is not there, except we will discuss further. Ash or this some harmful gases is emitted by that coal burning, but no other environmental effect is there, or radioactive substance is not going to be waste from this power plant. Less land area is required. Okay, as compared to hydroelectric plant, very less, I will say, land area is required. Let's see disadvantage. Ash handling is a bigger problem as it create large amount of ash. Okay, as we are burning coal, which produce, we have discussed about 15 to 20% of ash. Okay, that's why this coal handling is also problem, but ash handling is also bigger problem. Okay, fuel transport. Okay, that is what fuel transportation is. What coal handling and storage charges are more. Okay, because we need to store that coal. Okay, this is not the case we have or we can have the coal at the time of burning. Okay, first we need to store it. Okay, on the specific land we need the storage, specific storage. It should not get wet in rainy season. That's why the storage must be very well. We need, that's why the storage cost goes on increasing. Okay, then cooling water is required more. Okay, as we have seen, for condensation of that exhausted steam, we need to have abundant amount of cooling water. Then operation cost is high compared to hydro and nuclear power plant, as we need a large amount of coal which is to be transported. Transportation cost is very big factor in this cost consideration of coal. And also coal is also a fuel which is we can say cost consuming. Then low cyclic efficiency around 35 to 45%. Okay, there is lot of conversion. Okay, that means you are converting the chemical energy that is in coal, which you have to convert it into thermal energy. That means you burn that coal. There is a, keep one thing in mind, you cannot as you have studied in thermodynamics, you cannot take total output or work output equal to heat supplied. Okay, according to that law, we cannot convert full amount of heat into the work output, that is ours to heat the steam. Okay, then again you exhaust the steam into the turbine. There is also losses. After turbine is connected to generator, while generating there are also losses, and then while transmitting, the transmission losses also are also. Therefore, calculating all these losses, we lose our energy, or if we calculate the total efficiency of the power plant, considering all other efficiencies, we get only around 35 to 45% of efficiency. Okay, which is very less as compared to other power plant. Then if you consider the hydroelectric power plant, it will give 80 to 90% or above 90% efficiency, because what, there are just friction losses in the pipe and generating losses, transmission losses. Okay, so hydraulic, as compared to hydraulic power plant, this is having too less efficiency. Then it continuously generates smoke, which contribute in increasing air pollution. Okay, sulfur dioxide or nitrous oxide, too many harmful gases are exhausted uh, from that chimney, and which may cause lung cancer and respiratory disease. uh, all these disease uh, causes to the human. So environmental factor must be considered. Now here are some limitation. It is important to limit such as CO2 and NOx and other particulate emission in environment which causes acid rain by separation capacities commensurate with the size of the power plant. Due to acidic formation has an impact on soil and groundwater pollution. The soil quality, for example, can be adversely affected by dust sediment, particularly in the near vicinity of the plant. The seriousness of ground level pollution depend on the heavy metal content of the dust. The fertility of the soil can be altered by acidic precipitation, characterized mainly by the acid form SO2 and NOx under unfavorable condition. Acidification can pass from the soil to both the groundwater and surface water. Okay, these are some limitations. You can say uh, the soil in the vicinity of that power plant, that means nearby places or any village which is nearby that power plant, will have the less quality of soil, or it may be quite acidic. Okay, so this is the limitation of that power plant. Let's talk about fuel handling system. Okay, as I told you, the fuel handling system is very bigger part or essential part to be discussed. Okay, coal need to be stored at various stages of the preparation process, conveyed around the plant facilities. Coal handling is part of larger field of bulk. Coal delivery equipment is one of the major components of plant cost. The various steps involved in coal handling are as follows. Okay, let's see which are the steps used for coal handling: coal delivery, unloading, preparation, transfer, outdoor storage, convert storage, implant handling, weighing and measuring, feeding the coal into furnace. Okay, these are the things to be considered while coal handling. Let's see coal delivery. The transport of coal from supply point to power station situated near to sea or river is delivered by ships, while it is supplied by rail or truck which are situated away from the sea or river. The transportation of coal by truck is used if the railway tracks are not available. Okay, the transport of coal from the mine to the power plant is more cost consuming, as if we are purchasing that coal from other countries, it need to be handled from that countries to our country by the rails or ships. Okay, from that ships you have to take it or unload it from that ships to the trucks or trails or trains. Then via that trains you will get that coal up to your power plant, or by the truck you have to unload it into the or at the storage area of that coal. Then next thing is what? Unloading. For unloading the coal at the power station depend on equipment. If coal delivery by truck, there is no need of unloading device, as the truck may dump the coal to the outdoor storage. Okay, as the truck have the that dumped to or they can self unload that coal. So coal unloading device is not necessary over there. Coal is essentially handled if the lift truck with scoop are used. In case of the coal is delivered by railway wagons, ships are or the unloading may be done by car shakes, rotary car dumpers, cranes, grab buckets and coal accelerator. Rotary car dumper, although costly, are quite efficient for unloading the closed wagons. Now coal preparation. If delivery of coal is in the form of big lumps and improper size, the coal preparation of sizing of coal is done by crusher, baker, pulverizing mill, dryer and magnetic separator. Okay, we all this topic we are going to discuss in further lecture, but let me give you overall view of this. Okay, the coal comes in the form of, I will say, stones. Okay, big stones. Then you cannot directly add it to the furnace. Okay, what will it cause? It will cause more lesser efficiency. Okay, because it will not burn efficiently. So to burn efficiently that coal, you have to make it in powder form. So you have to do, or you have to take that coal into proper size for uh, burning in this proper way. Okay, the way is given. Sizing of coal is done by crusher, breaker, pulverizing it, dryer and magnetic separator. Okay, these are the things we are going to discuss. Now coal transfer. After preparation of coal, dead storage by means of the following system. Okay, after preparation of coal, you have to, or you might have seen alongside of our road also, there are dead storage. You can see there a pulverized coal which is not of that much quality, which is fed to the uh, power plants, but you can see on the roadside some coal storage yard are there where this powdered form coal is stored. Okay, now bed conveyor. Okay, we are going to see all this equipment used for coal handling. First one is bed conveyor, stew conveyor, bucket elevators, grab bucket elevators, skip hoist and slide conveyor. Okay, first one is bed conveyor. You might have gone across this bed conveyor. Okay, so long continuous bed is there, or endless bed, which is moving over a pair of rotating rudder rollers. The roller is provided at the center, supporting on shaft at certain distance. The bed is made up of rubber or canvas, stiffness, strength and bed conveyor is shown in figure. Okay, you can see here bed conveyor. This figure, by the way, it is when upside down. Rotate your mobile and then see. You can see this figure. Okay, let me rotate it. Don't misunderstand this. Okay, here you can see the bed conveyor. Okay, roller beds are shown. Then bed roller. This is lower portion. Okay, this is lower portion of bed, and on this bed is on this portion. This coal is handled. Okay, bed conveyor is suitable for transfer of coal for long distances. It is used in medium and large power plants. For a distance about 400, okay, up to half kilometer. The initial cost of the system is not high and less power consumption. The slope or an inclination provided is about 20 degree with the horizontal at which coal can be successfully elevated by bed conveyor. Average speed referred is about 60 to 100 meter per minute and load carrying capacity of 50 to 100 tons per hour. Okay, for your information, I am telling you, there is a, I don't know, somewhere, but there is a conveyor belt which can be seen from the space also on our earth. Okay, So bed conveyor, I just telling you for the information for how much distance this conveyor can be used. This there that bed is also used for handling some type of granite or something. Okay, you can search it on internet. Advantages: rate of code transfer easily vary by controlling bed speed. Power requirement is minimum. Repair and maintenance cost is low. Disadvantages was use is limited to build inclination up to 20 degree and not suitable for short distance. Screw conveyor. It consists of an endless helicoid screw fitted to a shaft or containing either a spiral blade coiled around a shaft enclosed in a cylinder housing. The housing is having inlet to feed the coal and discharge port at other end as shown in figure. The one end of shaft is connected to the driving motor while other end is support in bearing in housing or casing. The diameter of the screw is 15 to 50 rotating in a through transfer the coal from feeding end to the discharge end. Screw conveyor can be operated with the flow of material inclined upward. As the angle of inclination increases, the capacity of a given unit rapidly decreases. The rate of volume transfer is proportional to the rotation rate of shaft. The system is suitable where coal is transferred over shorter distance and space limitation exists. The initial cost of the consumption is high and there is considerable wear of a screw. Rotation of screw varies between 75 to 125 rpm. You can see here the screw conveyor. Okay, here is a coal inlet. Coal is inserted from here and in this way the coal passes further and it is discharged from there. The next one, advantages and disadvantages of this. It is compact, require minimum space. It can be used for dust transfer also. Advantages, disadvantages. It has limit of depth of it should be up to 30 meter with developed torsion stress. Then less life is less due to wear and tear. Okay, total because of friction between that blade of that conveyor, blade of that screw and the coal, the screw blade get worn out and therefore we need to replace it time to time. Then bucket elevator, you can see the bucket elevator over here. Coal inlet is here, coal is put at this point which is feed in that and then it is given to the outlet. Okay, in this way. Bucket elevator, it consists of bucket fixed to a chain or belt as shown in figure. The chain or belt moves over two wheels roller. The bucket can be also triangular in shape and set close to one on the belt or chain with little or no clearance between them. This is a continuous bucket elevator. Its main use is to carry difficult material at slow speed. The coal is carried by the bucket from the bottom and discharged from the top. Its maximum height is 30 meter and used up to inclination of 60 degree with horizontal. Its capacity of 60 ton per hour. Then grab bucket elevator. Here you can see the figure. Crane is here and in this bucket the coal is filled and taken to any place where it is required. It performs two functions simultaneously, that it lifts and transfers coal on other. The coal lifted by grab bucket is transferred to overhead bunker or storage. The system require less power for operation and require minimum maintenance. The grab bucket conveyor can be used with crane or tower as shown in figure. Although the initial cost of the system is high, but operating cost is less. Flight conveyor, here the figure shown. It consists of one or two strand of chain to which steel grabber or flights are attached. Grabbers means you can see in cane handling. Okay, sugar cane is handled by this flight conveyor. Okay, like monorail, inverted monorail. It consists of one or two strand of chain to which steel scraper or flights are attached, which scrap the coal a through having identical shape. This coal is discharged in the bottom of trough. It is low in first cost but has large energy consumption. There is considerable wear, skip hoist and bucket elevation to slip the coal vertically while built, and flight conveyor move the coal horizontally or on inclination. Shows a flight conveyor. Figure shows flight conveyor process the following advantages. They can be used to transfer the coal as well as ash. The speed can be regulated easily. Rugged construction. They need little operational care. Advantages. The various advantages of flight conveyor are as follows. There is more wear due to dragging action. Power consumption is more and maintenance cost is high. Okay, in this way we finish the coal handling system. In next lecture we will see pulverized fuel handling. That means for the burning of fuel or burning of that coal, how it or in which form the coal must be, we are going to see. Okay, thank you for today.